Welcome to Body Bags. I'm your Friday reviewer, Chris, from ChrisB Movies. You know my name is Chris. And you know I love B movies. Now we're talking about films from 2007, and I'm talking about Hostel 2. I love the Hostel series. Part 3 was good, but you can't compare it to the first two. You just can't, okay? 1 and 2 were just, simply awesome. Now, part 1, we met the 3 party-going guys that get roped into going to Slovakia, and, well, you know what happened to them. But we know that Paxton J. Hernandez was... If you've never seen Hostel, leave now. Okay, you back? Okay. You don't want to be surprised. Right? Paxton was the sole survivor. And he kicked some ass in the end and made it free. But now he's having nightmares, recurring nightmares of investigators talking to him, making him believe that he may have been responsible for all this. And he tells him his story, and the investigators just kind of look just blank at him. And then they kind of attack him, and they're like, oh, we're part of this whole killing spree thing that happens in Slovakia. Now, if you don't know about what actually happens, basically, the very rich people will pay a lot of money to kill Europeans or Americans to go to a place, Slovakia, and kill and not have any repercussions happen. It's a big money thing in Slovakia, and it's made Slovakia grow a little bit, right? So any tourists that go there, they basically give their information, passport. The passport goes through a computer system, and then right from there they get you. These rich people can bet on, can basically throw money down who wants to kill you. And the highest bidder will be the one that's going to kill you. But you don't know that as tourists going in. You think, as in part 1, you're in there with some beautiful girls, you're just going to have a party time, you're going to have sex with these girls, you're going to party your asses off, have a great time, then go back to normality. But no. You might not make it out of there alive. As in, now Hostel 2, we meet 3 girls, and we're talking about Beth, Lauren German, and we're talking about Lorna Heather Matarazzo and Whitney Bijou Phillips. Now, these are 3 friends. They're art students who travel to Rome, and their teacher is Edwige Finech, who's been in a lot of Giallo films. If you've seen any French or Italian Giallo films, you've probably seen her in quite a few of them. So it's really cool that Eli Roth includes a lot of people he's very fond of in his films, like the first one, Takashi Miike, and in this one we got Edwige Finech and Ruggero Deodato, who plays the Italian cannibal. Basically one of the killers. So this is really cool that he includes people that maybe the American people aren't too familiar with, but real moviegoers who love horror, who love all types of horror, will know these people. I think it's pretty cool how he just kind of inserts them in his movies. But we're talking about 3 students, and of course they meet the beautiful Exeli, who's not as screwed up as Alex was in the first film. She has a bit of a charm to her, and she's the type of person that you just want to follow. And when she says, ooh, we have beautiful hot springs in Slovakia, come, we have a wonderful time, you'll follow her. Like, with me, I would not follow Alex. I'd say, this guy's a creep. I'm not going anywhere this guy tells me to go. But with her, she would lure me in a little bit. Now, we're talking about 3 friends. Heather Matarazzo, she's kind of like the nerdy virgin girl who's very innocent. When people do bad stuff to her, she's shocked. Lauren German's like the bad girl, badass girl, and we will find more about that in the film. And Bijou Phillips is just a typical party girl. Whitney just likes to party. So 3 people with 3 different types of personalities. But speaking of Paxton, well, Paxton may have survived the first one, but will he survive part 2? You're going to find out early in the film exactly what happens to him. Let's just say he loses his head a little bit. So now we meet these girls, and now they're in Slovakia, and now they're partying, they're enjoying the hot springs, they're meeting all these people, and Lorna is the first one who has a guy that's really paying attention to her, and she's like, oh my god, what do I do? And she's like, and so the guy comes up, starts dancing with her, and no man has ever really paid attention to her because, she's a virgin. But he lures her into taking a boat trip with him, and her friends were like, no, don't go with him, you don't know this guy. But she goes anyway because, this guy's paying attention to me, ooh. And she goes, and well, she suffers a horrible fate. Poor Heather Matarazzo, man, you know? Oh my god, welcome to the dollhouse. I mean, God, we love her. Come on, she's that innocent girl. But she meets up a Miss Bathory, let's just say, which is one of the coolest killings, I think, in any of the two films I've seen. Because, basically, Miss Bathory needs the blood of a virgin to live forever. Played by Monica Malkova, and she was scarier than any of the killers in any film. Like, she was real scary. And there are other scary killers in this film, and then you meet these two dudes, these two businessmen. One who spent a lot of money to kill some people. One is a family guy, and he's really... He doesn't know if he really wants to do it or not, but, you know, his friend is luring him, saying, yeah, let's do this. We got a chance to do something that no one will ever do in a lifetime. Let's do this. And he is so pumped and raring to go, and his friend's like, well, you know, he's a family man. You see him kissing his wife and kids. He seems to be really happy in his relationship, and it's like, this might just not be too good for him. But his friend lures him, come on, be a man, let's do this. And well, you'll see with these two guys that the roles will reverse, and bad things will happen to the baddest man. Oh my god. That end kill scene, oh my god. Every man in the world's like, ooh. Let's just say that. And then one of my favorite side characters. I'm a big fan of side characters in films. Rick Hoffman. Now you've seen Rick Hoffman. He was one of my favorite side characters in the first film. Also, he was just such a bad... And I have to bring his name up in Hostel 1 because his scene was just absolutely hysterical, as he plays a complete and utter psychopath that gets to kill for free, and he's excited, and he meets up with Paxton. But there are so many great side characters in this film. Especially the guy that woes Lorna Heather Matarazzo into... He seems so nice and sweet, like a big bear, and then he turns into a monster. Roger Bart, who plays Stuart, he's the guy that has been kind of lured in by his friend Todd. Because Todd's like, yo, all right, we got the money, we paid for it, let's do it. And his character development is so good in this one. You really got to see Roger Bart. He's been in a ton of other things. He plays Stuart in this film, and his changing character was just brilliantly done. And Richard Burgi, who's been in a ton of films himself, including a lot of really low-budget horror films, he was awesome as well. And again, they did a total role reverse, as you'll see in this film. And of course, you know, the greatest cannibal of all time. Yeah, you gotta say Ruggero Deodato as the Italian cannibal, who you see him taking his bets and bidding on who he wants to kill, and while he's looking at his grandchildren on a carousel. That was so brilliant. He has a big smile on his face. You gotta see his character in this one. This was another one of my favorite killers in the film. I figured it was in part 2. But anyway, you definitely gotta see this film. This film is a lot of fun. It gets more intense than the first one, and some of the kills are a lot greater than the first film. The first film, you know, you're just meeting these people in this weird environment and the things they do and everything. But now by part 2, you fully know what's going to happen to these 3 girls, and it's like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? I love the little kids in this film. How the little kids are just merciless. How they they're part of they commit some of the biggest crimes in Slovakia, and they're a bunch of little kids. And then one of them gets shot. Oh my god, it's like insane, man. But definitely Hostel 2 is a whole lot of fun. Eli Roth just had a lot more fun with this one than he had with the first one, and just let it all out, man. And lots of guts, gore, and just fun stuff going on with a lot of great side characters. You should definitely watch Hostel 2 if you've not seen it already. Most of you watching have seen the whole Hostel series. But Hostel 2 is a lot of fun. And out of 10 stars, I give it 9.5. A lot of fun. My wife really enjoys this one as well. So, you know, so we can watch together as a family. But anyways, check out Hostel 2 if you have not. There's a first time for everything. First time you watch The Deer Hunter. First time you watch Frozen. First time you watch Beauty and the Beast. And there'll be a first time that you watch Hostel 2. I guarantee you. You'll have a lot of fun watching it. A lot of bloody fun watching it. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you like Hostel 2, click on that like button. Comment below if you like the Hostel series of films, what you like about them, what you don't like about them. I want to hear it all, man. Yeah, check out all the other reviewers, because they all do a bang-up job, and they love movies just like we do. Oh, yeah. And check me out next week. There's going to be some fun times happening next week, I guarantee you. And anyways, I will see you next week, but don't forget to watch those late-night horror movies. Read up on the latest Fright Mags. Don't forget to tune in to another episode of the show we call Body Bags. I will take a visit to my favorite hostel in Slovakia.